Hello, I'm Dr. Joe Cord. I'm the founder and director of the Center for Relationship Health in Royal Oak, Michigan. And today I'd like to introduce you to one of our team members, Dr. Pilarcik, Dr. Stephen Pilarcik, who's going to go over his top 3 specialties. Dr. Pilarcik, tell us your first specialty.
Thank you, Dr. Cord. My first specialty would be working with mood and anxiety issues with patients or clients. Obviously, a lot of us work in that realm, but I do like to use a few different techniques to help in those areas. For example, sometimes I'll talk about use of relaxation breathing. Sometimes I'll go into guided meditation, which is really helpful with mindfulness and kind of keeping people in that present. Um, those types of techniques, breathing, is really helpful for anxiety, especially with sometimes panic symptoms.
Hmm.
Um, if things are very severe, oftentimes we have to talk maybe about medication management. But working through these issues, I like to try to do that without going into that realm and see if we can make some positive changes.
Hmm.
The other thing is I realize for people that change is difficult. So I like to talk about baby step changes. So instead of saying, you know what, I'm going to start going to the gym every single day of the week. This is going to help. I know it's going to work. It's going to get me into a better place. That's a big commitment. So sometimes I'll say, well, what's realistic. Maybe we start going twice a week. Maybe we go for a walk on the other days. These are just different ways that I like to break things down a little bit smaller so it doesn't seem like such a big change for people.
All right, thank you so much. And what would be your second top specialty?
My second specialty would be working with relationships. Um, I do see a lot of couples come in here, which is great. Sometimes I work with individuals separately within their relationships, just trying to navigate with that solo person. A lot of the times, though, when couples do come in for therapy, I do find some common themes. The common themes that I see that pop up are usually problems with communication, intimacy, and sometimes finances. Now, often when I'm talking about intimacy, I'm not always talking about sexual intimacy. I'm talking about emotional intimacy, connection with people, and how we can kind of work through that. Communication is often difficult. I think we get into cycles, especially if we're with somebody for a long time. And, often we have to simplify things. The person's not understanding where you're coming from. So we have to kind of shift and change how we use tones, body language, different areas like that we can kind of work on in this type of setting.
All right, thank you. And what's your third specialty?
My third specialty would be working in different areas of life transitions. Now, when I say that, I'm really talking about a very broad spectrum. So I could have somebody coming in here with a life transition issue of, losing a loved one. There's definitely grief, loss process with that. It's difficult when we lose people. Switching topics on that, it could also be, a career change. I want some support moving forward of navigating this because this is going to be a really big change for me.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's often, families going through a divorce and they want to make sure that their child is going to be able to adjust well.
Hmm.
That could look like family sessions. That could look like individual for the child. So again, I'm really speaking in a lot of different areas that change in life happens that we can use this type of setting to really navigate, process, and move forward in a positive way.
All right, thank you so much. If you would like to work with Dr. Pilarcik, you can just call our office at 248-399-7447, or you can go to our website and contact the front office, and they will get back to you right away and go over his schedule. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Court.
Thank you.